I remember the last time you played them, the post game was, wow, I knew they were good, but I didn't know they were that good. So as you've studied that game, what did you learn from that? What can you put together with such a young team that you have?
Well, they are really good, and you can continue to see that as they progress through the season. They have great guard play. The other guys are really good role players. They seem to enjoy each other, play well together, share the basketball, and it makes it difficult. I would say, our since then, we've had our ups and downs and all arounds, and the first thing we're going to have to do is hopefully take care of the basketball a little better. We only had 14 turnovers against them the first time, so I guess that's way better than what it was the other night and last week. So we have to take care of the basketball. We got to do a better job of limiting their easy ones. They made threes last time, but we also gave them quite a few easy baskets that, hopefully our defense a little better. I look at West Virginia, we hold them to, I think it's 67 or 69 the other night, and they score a few at the end when our walk-ons were in. And then they go get 80, 87 or 88 last night against Texas Tech. So I hope our defense is a little better. And you think about West Virginia, they score 69 and we have 28 turnovers and they get 26 points or whatever off a turnover. So I thought our half-court defense was better in that game. Now, can we do it against elite guards and elite players? We'll have to see. I thought we had a good practice yesterday. We competed, but it's, we have to understand, and I don't think we understood how good Baylor was. I don't think our guys understand how hard West Virginia plays. They've had to get, they've had to learn lessons, and now can they adjust and pick up that sense of urgency, play harder, be a little more exact and definite, and see if we can, it always helps to make shots. That's also beside the turnovers. That's been one of our difficulties. We cut it to 8 the other day. We have a wide open three. We don't make it. They go down, get a backdoor play. We have another wide open three. We don't make it, and they hit a three. And now the game's gone the other way again. So as I said, it always helps to make a few shots that hopefully for the spirit of our guys.
Are you expecting Nigel back? And if so, what difference will he make?
Well, he gives us a point guard. He gives us some stability. He knows he has a good feel of the game. But again, you haven't played basketball for 17 days. I worked him out Sunday for about 45 minutes, and he was done. I mean, it took a lot out of him. Now he practiced yesterday. I kept seeing him bend over and you got to get your conditioning back, your timing back. I thought he played all right yesterday. Just that long sustained part of practice, it took a little bit of toll. I thought with Antonio a couple of weeks ago, it took him one game and 4 or 5 practice to kind of get his lungs back, get his timing back a little bit. So he will play, and he gives us some stability, some ball handling, some passing, hopefully some shooting, and I think more than anything, just a feel of the game and what we need to do and where we need to get the ball going, where it needs to go. But I don't want to put too much pressure on him, even though we do need him.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Next question to John Kurtz.
To piggyback on that, Bruce, do you have a specific plan as far as how many minutes you think he'll be available for?
I think we'll just see how he goes. I don't know if we can get him to 30 minutes, but if we can, rotate him, every 4 or 5 minutes and give him a little breaks, I think it'll help him. Maybe get him to, in the 20s, somewhere in there without pushing him too much. And we'll see how his practice goes today.
Is there a battle to keep too much pressure from being on him with the situation you guys are in and how much the offense has struggled?
Yeah, I mean, but now you got Casey back, you got him back. You hope the pressure is just getting a better flow and not trying to do too much. And, pretty simple basketball. You got to be able to dribble, pass, and make some shots. If you can do those things, then the concepts and the strategy gets involved. And the other day, like I say, it was almost a miracle that we were within 8, with all the turnovers we had. So if we can just be a little more exact, and move the basketball, we got to get some inside touches. If you study our stats, obviously the big guys' percentages are much higher. And we got to be a little more patient, get the ball inside, give them a chance to work, and see if they can be successful.
Appreciate it, Bruce. Thanks.
Yep.
Next question to Kellis Robinette.
In a game like this, Bruce, do you play up the underdog angle at all with the guys, us versus the world, that kind of thing?
Well, we have nothing to lose. We lost by infinity the first time, so I don't know if you can go higher than infinity. So, just go and play, compete. We went there several years ago. They were number 2 in the country, I believe, and we ended up, beating them. Obviously, we had some older guys. We had a little bit of different team, but we fought and grinded and kept the score low. And we got to stop at the end and found a way to win. So, that's all we can do. And I want them to play the I want to improve. I want them to take care of the basketball. I want them to compete, and keep fighting. That's all. And if something, who knows? You never know. Every game's different. A lot of things can happen.
And I know this year's been crazy with all the COVID and everything, but has it made you rethink your strategy on filling a final scholarship if you have one, and maybe bringing in an extra walk-on or two just in case?
Well, we always would, we like to be at 12 or 13. It just depends how the year goes. I always like to have at least 2 good walk-ons, maybe a third, just for the scout team, and also when we have injuries, and we've had our share of injuries the last few years just to get even through practice. But we did put Joey on scholarship now for the second semester, well deserved. He, not only stepped in that Oklahoma State game and did okay, but he's really, him and Drew have really saved us as far as even having practice a lot of the time. And, one of the problems, we wanted more walk-ons in the summer, but our athletic department, the protocols, the rules, there was a lot of, who are you going to bring in? Who do they live with? Did you want to take that chance? Because we had talked to a few kids that were coming to school here, but we just couldn't make it work out. So, we've had to deal with it, but I appreciate Joey, Drew, really appreciate all our guys coming every day and practicing their butts off.
And I got to know, were you mad when the Packers kicked the field goal the other day?
I coaching is not much fun, to be honest. And that's why everybody, that's when you cheer for somebody, you always, and it doesn't go right. You always question the coach. And one of my friends texted me and I said, yes, coaching sucks. And, it's part of it when you win, and, they had a really good year, special team, but, they just didn't make enough plays and to win the game. But I'm definitely cheering for the Chiefs in 2 weeks.
Okay, good to hear. Thanks, Bruce. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next question to Michael Goins.
Yeah, Bruce, has this team gained the type of mental focus that you would like to see out of it, or see it embrace?
Well, I think there's so many things we've had to deal with, and we've had to keep their spirits up. We've had to keep their mental focus. I think if we can make a change, is that just let the game come to them and not do things that they, try to force the game. and I think we'd be a little better off. I hope we made some strides yesterday. Obviously, it helps to have Nigel back a little bit, just a guy, as I said, that gives us some ball handling, passing, and a little bit of a feel for the game. And now we can maybe, I guess my goal, hope, or wish would be that we get in a little bit of rhythm with all these guys back and get it. I thought we had, you mentioned it the other day, we had started making some progress, moving the basketball, doing some better things offensively. And then, when Nigel went out, there's no rhythm, no routine, and you didn't have Antonio, and then you had Antonio back. So, and again, anything can happen. Who knows? We just tested, this year, every day, you just kind of do what you do and expect the unexpected. So, but if we can get everyone back and get a little rhythm, I mean, this is what we've talked about for the last 2-3 weeks. The finish, the last 10 games. Let's see what we can be as a team and the progress we can make.
And what's been Nigel's emotional well-being during his time out?
Oh, it's hard. I mean, he wants to play. I mean, he would have played anyway, but obviously, there's too much at stake, his future. It's hard. You sit in your room for 10 days. We were lucky there were some nice weather days. He got out, walked a little bit. Every coach probably called him during the day, just keep his spirits, talk to his parents. They, not only him, Siri's been contact traced and been quarantined for over 20 days. Antonio's been out. Davion was out for 28 days. I mean, I can go down the list. It's a hard thing. And we got the parking lot has cars in it here, and people are getting the vaccine. And I know I'm looking forward to a chance to get that. And I'm sure a lot of other people, and hopefully by the summer we can get back to some normalcy.
What was the extent of his availability on Saturday against West Virginia?
No, none. There was none. He couldn't play. I mean, that was his first day, his last day of protocol. And so Sunday was his actual first day where he could have been able to play, we could have played him.
And has Davion begun to embrace a kind of a demand the ball mentality?
I think he's just such a good young man. Now we watch film and we'll show hey, if you see his numbers, we got to get it to him. And he had a great move in the first half, stepped through, went with his left hand. Yesterday in practice, it was definitely an emphasis to try to get the ball inside. Now, hopefully we can continue doing that the rest of this week and as we move forward in our season.
And how do you feel like he's competed against some of the other bigs, veteran bigs?
I thought Davion is, I've said it over and over. I mean, he's been my most pleasant surprise. He's done some good things. Obviously, he's got a ways to go. He's handled his own. It helps now he has Casey. I think just physically, Casey gives a little more, he's got the experience and a little more strength. So you hope between the two of them. And we actually saw some signs of life from Carlton yesterday in practice where he started getting a little more physical. Hopefully we got a pretty good future with those guys in the post.
Thanks, Bruce.
Next question to Kellis Robinette.
Just with what you said about Joe earlier, how did you guys find out about him in the first place? Can you tell us that backstory?
Joe, I think Joe might have contacted one of our coaches, Coach Fraser, back when Chester was here, and he was at Dodge City. He's a real young man. He's young age-wise. He was actually, I think, might have started junior college either at 16 and then turned 17. We talked to him about coming and redshirting, which he did, and then this year doesn't count, so technically he has 3 years left after this year. So he's got where he couldn't maybe do 135 on the bench press when he got here. I think he's doing 6 or 7 now, or maybe more than that even. You know, and he can compete in practice. He's got a great attitude. He's had to play guard. He's had to play big man. He's had to do everything for us, and along the way he's kept a great attitude and done whatever we asked. So I'm happy that we were able to reward him.
All right, cool. Thanks, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for Coach Weber before we let him go? Oh, last question to Michael Goins.
Yeah, Bruce, just can you comment on what Scott Drew's accomplished at Baylor and the progress they've made and the heights that they've risen to?
Well, you know, I've said all along, I've said for the last few years, I don't think he gets the credit his coaching. You know, and I think to his credit, he's changed. You know, his zone was really good and it gave him a chance to win games. Actually, I wish I could teach that zone like he did, but he also found out he maybe didn't get where he wanted to win a conference championship to get further in the NCAA tournament. And, you know, last year they felt they were pretty good. And then obviously there was no tournament. They didn't win the conference. You know, I know all along the way, I talked to him, text with him. You know, I think he has a special team, and, you know, if they can keep playing together, play unselfishly, he's done a great job, but he's changed his defensive style. He's kind of taken a little bit of several different people in our league and, you know, implemented it, and their kids have bought in. And I also said that I think he's been a great GM, you know, to find some of the guys they found, and they've risen up to be pretty good players, and he's found a niche with that. So he's done a great job, and you know, he's had his ups and downs there, but you know, stayed the course, and he's having a special season right now.